All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And the video I'm bringing you today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Vampire. Wanted to talk about my experiences playing off and on with it for the last couple of weeks now. As most of you guys know, I do have an Xbox and PC account, so I've had a lot of time to play it, and here are my experiences so far, and why I will not currently be running. Why I will be trying to move away from Vampire until some adjustments are made. So with that being said, let's dive into it. First of all, I did a video a couple weeks ago and I talked about how Vampire is actually a pretty powerful ultimate. Some people disagree with me, and it's a very polarizing discussion about the Vampire ultimate. I've had a lot of good success with it. I've ran it on Stamina Necromancer, as a lot of you guys know. My Reaper build does run Vampire on the back bar because of the old bats would heal you. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put it on and we'll see how it works. And I was able to do some ridiculous things where I was able to just run into a 20-man group and not die, get a couple kills, get out. Other times, it's a souped up version of yourself. And I think a lot of people look at the Vampire ultimate and they expect it to kind of carry their damage. And they're like, well, else, I'm a tank and I run a tank and then I go into Vampire form and I can't kill anything. The ultimate sucks. It's like, no, you're a tank. You're not supposed to do damage. If you build like I do and you build a lot of damage, you're basically a souped up version of yourself that has a lot of increased healing to go offensive, and you're going to be able to go offensive more easily. And it's just that 20-second window being able to go offensive is extremely valuable in my opinion. Now, I'm only using it as a back bar ultimate, like on my Magplar. I was still running Crescent front bar, and then I would run the Vampire ultimate back bar. It was a little bit better in group play, just because solo play, you might be much better off rattling off Crescent sweeps, but it has its place, and it was a lot of fun. Stamina Necromancer, same thing. I thought it was very worthwhile to at least be stage 1, and so. We had a couple discussions about it on my Discord and everything, and people brought up the point, well, it's like, well, you have 5% increased cost. Why do you want to take 5% increased cost at stage 1? And it's just kind of interesting that the community is okay with running something like New Moon, because New Moon's 5% cost increase. It's like, well, you're still getting so much, running this weapon and spell damage in New Moon, but the thought of having a souped up ultimate that gives you more damage than what New Moon does. I mean, it's 10,000 stamina or magicka. That's roughly the equivalent of 1,000 stamina or 1,000 weapon or spell damage. Roughly when it scales, it's roughly the equivalent of that. So if you think about it, when you're in ultimate form, it's essentially New Moon on steroids. And you don't have to run New Moon. You can run another setup that does similar damage, and then you can just take that 5% cost increase. So the 5% just wasn't really noticeable to me at stage 1. And so just having that access to the ultimate was actually pretty powerful to me. So I really enjoyed it for that reason. I played a little bit with the vamp toggle. I think I'm going to try it a little bit more on Magblade. As you guys know, like, this patch is extensive. There's so many different things to test. I've tested Total Constancy. I've tested the Wild Hunt Ring. I've tested the, the Malacath Band just a little bit. And there's still so many different gear sets, monster sets, different things to test. I haven't gotten to Magblade yet, but I think I'm interested to see how the toggle works on like a stand-up Magblade. But I don't know if it's good or not. I take the perfect stun there. That guy was going to die. But on gankers, it has its place, playing from stealth and getting a ton of damage. I'm curious how it's going to work in general on other builds, but we'll see. What else is there? Mesmerize is kind of weird. All these guys get stuck. So this is the one time lag actually works for me. Everybody just kind of DCs here. Mesmerize is weird. It's just a really weird CC. It can animation cancel, which makes it really nice. It's cheaper than Mass Hysteria, which is also really nice. It has a lot of things going for it, but the aspect of they had to be facing you is a little weird, in my opinion. Just because sometimes people are running away, and it's just weird that mag classes can't have access to a stun. Like, I play a lot of Stamina Nightblade. Stamina Nightblade's my most played class, but Stamina Nightblade has access to a stun via one of their ultimates. They have access to Mass Hysteria. They have access to, concealed weapon or surprise attack from the flanks. They have 3 stuns in their toolkit. And then you look at magic and necromancer, and they have one that you had to put in the ground, and then after a couple of seconds, you can use it. And now they have mesmerize, which, you know, if people are focusing you and they're on top of you, yes, it can be valuable, but you know, it's a very weird conditional proc set, and that's why it's, you know, it's a little bit of an issue. So it'd be cool. I mean, I understand how that's how the vampire thing works, but it would be cool, like, you know, if they just had a functioning CC. It doesn't have to be mesmerize, but mesmerize how it functions now just is, it's very problematic in a few fights. So that's just what I've experienced. It's what a lot of people have talked to me about, and you know, their experiences playing the class as well. So mesmerize is kind of, you know, it's neither here nor there. It's just kind of meh. But yeah, out of all those things, like, you know, I actually like a vast majority of the ultimate in and of itself is worth it, in my opinion. But the reason I'm very frustrated with vampire has nothing to do with the new stages and everything that it does or anything like that. My biggest issue with vampire is actually mistform. Mistform is so buggy now, and it makes it really rough. You know, a lot of stamina classes, you know, some classes have high mobility. Like you look at Sorks, you see Sorks with Streak, you know, Ball of Lightning, whatever. They also have access to Major Expedition. They can fly around. You have Mag Blades that have access to Shadow Image and Cloak. They're able to maneuver. But our more tanky, stealthy brethren that, or not stealthy, our more tanky, thicker brethren typically have access, you know, they've used Mistform traditionally because Mistform just allows them, there's a bunch of healing in that group right there. Mistform allows them to get out of spots that they wouldn't normally be able to. Like sometimes you come around a corner and you're riding from keep to keep and you see 10 people and you just want that Mistform to get you to where you need to get to. And it allows you to still kind of stand your ground a little bit, but stand your ground on your own terms. Now, if Mistform worked properly, it would honestly be really, really good. It's a very nice buff to where you only have to activate it once. You can come out, you can come in and reactivate it. All those other sorts of things. It would actually be very, very nice. But the problem is everything pulls you out. You know, I can't tell you how many times I'm fighting a group of people and, you know, I'll have 10 people on me and I'm able to go into Mistform, you know, for whatever reason at that point in time. I'm able to go into Mistform. I'm able to survive, get a line of sight around a corner, and then 4 or 5 peel off. And then I have just 4 or 5 people on me. And I go to activate Mistform again because I need to line of sight once again because they're piling up AoEs on the ground. They're hitting me with an ultimate, whatever. And I block and I go into Mistform and something pulls me out and then I have to block. I have to hit a heal because I'm taking a bunch of damage because I'm not in Mistform when I thought I was. And then I try and activate it again. The same thing happens and it happens 2 or 3 times. And if typically I die, you know, if I'm forced to go into Mistform, it's typically it's a pretty hairy situation where I'm trying to survive in a situation I wasn't expecting to. So typically I just die. I just die and it's game over, and then I have to respawn, and I'm frustrated because, you know, one of the skills doesn't work, which is the name of the game in PvP right now. Like, skills work until they don't. That's the best way to say it. Like, abilities activate until all of a sudden they don't. And so Mistform is good when it works, and then it doesn't work, and then it sucks. It's really, really bad. And I don't know what it is. You know, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's pets pulling you out. Does it function similar to like stealth, where currently some pets are pulling you out of stealth, or some heavy attacks pulling me out of stealth? Because typically I'm getting hit by so many things. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So yeah, if they fixed Mistform, if Mistform could actually function the way it has traditionally, where when you activate it and you go into it, you're actually in Mistform. You don't have to spam heals to try and stay alive and expend a bunch of resources you weren't expecting to. If that worked that way, I would be very excited to play Vampire on a few different classes, because the Mistform, you know, the cost increases, whatever, but the access to the ultimate's very nice. Mistform has always traditionally been very nice. Those sorts of things are very tough to deal with. You know, when you're trying to rely on a survival skill, it makes it really tough to you know, it makes it tough to survive when that's what you're relying on. Like I want to build a little bit squishier so I can deal out more damage, like this build specifically. And if I can't activate Mistform, I'm just going to die a lot. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to die. I'm not going to be able to utilize line of sight or anything like that. And at that point, it's like, okay, well, if the main form of survival isn't functioning, why use the you know, why have access to everything else? It's not really worth what you're getting. So that's been my personal experience. Of course, you know, it's not just me. You know, I'm not the only one playing this game. I'd love to get your guys' feedback. I should have stayed where I was. I was getting siege there. That one guy almost died, and I tried to focus this guy. I didn't see it at first. There was just so much going on there. I wanted to get your guys' feedback on Vampire. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on what you think about it. I personally think that the ultimate's great. I think if Mistform worked properly, it would be great. Mesmerize needs a few small tweaks, but I like how it functions. Like, the animations for how it functions are very nice. They just need to, in my opinion, it just needs to be tweaked a little bit so it's a little bit more viable. I mentioned Vampire Ultimate. Vampire Ultimate is extremely powerful. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. Like, if you don't agree with me that Vampire Ultimate's fine, is not good, that's more than fine. I would be more than happy to see less of them in PvP, you know, preferably none. You know, it doesn't make any sense that everybody's a Vampire Lord. There should only be a couple Lords. So, you know, for RP purposes, it makes more sense that more people aren't Vampire Lords, you know? So, yeah. But yeah, in all honesty, guys, I want your thoughts. I want your feedback. Please comment in the section below on your thoughts on playing Vampire. I went down the stairs, I got leapt, and then I bounced on top and I took some siege there. That was a disappointing way to die. But yeah, comment in the section below on your thoughts. I will be coming out with a build here pretty shortly. As you guys know, I've been just relearning the patch. There's so much stuff going on. I've been wanting to test stuff, and I like to have a pretty good grasp of what all the new changes are before I come out with a build. But I think my first build's coming out this week. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I have a few more things to test, and then we'll post the video. And yeah, if you guys like this video, if you guys want more PvP information where I talk to you guys like this about the state of the game and, you know, things that are going on, feel free to hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, and only if you like the video, please hit the like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, helps get that information out there, and, you know, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you for doing it. Also, if you guys want to check out the link in the description below, I do have a Discord where we discuss different class-related things. I post a lot of different builds that I'm thinking about on there, so we can, you know, spitball ideas. If you have any questions about a specific class or whatever, it's not just me in there. We actually have over 1,000 people just talking about different builds and different things, and you know, we have different sections of the Discord for different classes, which is, it's really good, and I think it's a very helpful form of information for newer players. You know, we really try to remove the condescending players, and, you know, just talk about PvP and talk about, you know, how we want to kill people, or how we want to try and heal, or whatever role we have that we want to fulfill in PvP. So that's what it's there for. Yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.